flag, they will go where they can to buy up. And they're no longer just buying up television or buying up film. They'll buy multiple types of media. You know, they'll buy, I can get real, So there we go. I think I've sat on that one enough. The other thing that happens in the media wasteland is you have the sensationalism. And we all seen it. Sometimes we get a good laugh out of it. I decided that I'm unfunny, so I'll bring something that would be funnier, and I'm going to do a little example of sensationalism. But before I do, the point was that you get this music on the news, there's a graphic, war, huh. There's no huh, but war. And then music, exciting song, and then a story, but the story has to have some guy shooting a gun. No blood, because you're too sensitive for that, we decided. But guy shooting a gun, marching, looking good, in the sand, goggles. I'm talking about war again. But there was all kinds of sensationalism. I mean, is my audio working? I'll do the audio. A pack of wild dogs attacked this young man. I was just walking and there was these wild dogs. They almost ate me.
The dogs began attacking Paul, biting at his feet, arms, and neck.
I was looking for a weapon. But there wasn't really nothing nearby.
The teenager ducks beneath this barbed wire fence, but the dogs were instantly on top of him. He manages to climb on top of a fence post and begins screaming for help. A neighbor rushes out of his home and fights the dogs off of Paul. Paul's parents rush him to the hospital, where he's laying now with gashes, bite wounds, and stitches from his head to his feet.
This was last night under, something important. And some of you think, well, I've been attacked by a dog. This is serious shit. Good point. But the whole running around with the camera, following where the dog went, I mean, there's a wonderful tradition of shitty journalism somewhere in here. My opinion, this whole thing is my fucking opinion. So, I almost got a clap. That other guy got claps and he had code. Eat that, code guy. All right. All right. Oh, Tomcat. Tomcat. I'll just do it again. Tomcat. We also had the other thing in the media wasteland was that we have an excess, especially on the front page or on the front story on the television news. We have this bullshit entertainment news. And some of us talk about it in our free time like we know these people. I don't know if you guys watch The Office, the US Office. It's very good. And the other day, the girl walks in and she goes, I haven't seen you in such a long time, to some guy. And he goes, oh yeah, what's been going on with you? And she goes, Tom and Kat had a baby, and he's awesome. And Brad and Ange, Bradgelina had a baby, and she's awesome. And he's like, but what's new with you? She's like, I just told you. You know. And look, out there, not in here, because this is a fucking cool place, but out there, there are people who talk about this shit. And as if it's important, because it's been given to us as important. So, in the media wasteland, we have the infotainment, the news with the music and the graphics, and it's exciting. There are robots kicking each other. We don't know why. Because they can. We know. Okay. We have entertainment news right underneath real news that actually affects people's life and death, that affects, who's starving, who's being mass, killed in Sudan. I mean, it's right there. I mean, this is what I call a media wasteland. And this is true still today, but this was hugely true, of course, in the late 90s. And thankfully, at the same time, the bloggers, the podcasters, we came forward. Yay, One other thing, I put Rupert Murdoch in his shorts because he looks stupid. That's really Rupert Murdoch in his shorts. I look stupid in shorts too, but I don't own all that media. Two clapping, yes. I gotta keep track, because other people got lots. Okay, so I'd said this, fucking hell. Oh yeah, this is a good one. And this is Rupert Murdoch's specialty. Besides marrying extremely young women, buying up shit all the time, like MySpace, and whatever he can buy, he's been buying Italian telecoms lately. I try and follow Rupert Murdoch, in whatever ways I can. Not to copy him, but perhaps to ruin him. Such a noble thing, I mean, to want to ruin someone. No, I wouldn't. If I ever met him, I'd be like, sir, hello. Fucking guy, hello. I would have a split personality like I do. And the other thing that happens with this whole, the question of profit versus journalism, which is what this is about, profit became more important than journalism, and it still is, unfortunately, in the commercial world, was that they would choose not to cover stories. I mean, for me, even as a teenager, and I was a weird fucking teenager, as you can tell, I would flip. We had this channel, Channel 4 in New York, and it was NBC. Who owns NBC? GE. GE is an energy corporation. I think they build all kinds of shit, some monitors, I think, as well. But what they really build, what they really like to build, because it brings in good money, is the nuclear, GE likes to do that. Oh, the missiles, they like to build the missiles, which when I do this is kind of like a penis, and that's what missiles are about, we know. GE builds penises. That's not in the slide. What was crazy for me as a teenager was that here I am watching NBC, and I would turn on the news because I was a sucker. I still am a sucker, but I'm smarter. And I would actually think that I was getting news, about stuff that's going on. And if there's something bad, if there's someone's hiding a secret that affects people's lives, they're going to report on it. I was dumb. What do you want? Some people did drugs. I believe the news. And what blew my mind later on was when I discovered GE owns NBC. If NBC wants to investigate, the whole industry of building missiles and getting contracts with the government, if they decide, a journalist, some crazy journalist, decides to do that, NBC will say absolutely not, and they have, and say, get that story out of here. Rupert Murdoch, Mr. Shorts, said, no one ever calls him that, he said once, I couldn't find the fucking quote, but I know he said it, I'll never forget it, he said that if he could, he would take a sledgehammer and, what was he doing? He was going to get the phone. Get the fucking phone. He was going to take a sledgehammer and destroy the wall between the news department and the marketing department at his newspapers. You remember when he said that? Fuck it, he said it. No, he actually said, the man changes his mind a lot. Now he's a Democrat or something. But I don't care. Fuck the Democrats too. No, but that's not important really. You can like the Democrats if you want. But he actually said that, and that reflects a lot about what he believes. I think I have a quote here. It'll come up at the wrong time. Advertising. Just one other illustration, and I saw this last night. I was like, I'm sure if I just go look, I'll find something. Front page, middle of the night last night, which is a good time to read the news. Look at that. ExxonMobil, right? So what, right? So what? But if you want to investigate, you want to talk about Exxon, what they're doing, in what country, where is it shady? This is a very John Stuart Bush thing. Where is it shady? Exxon is your sponsor. So maybe hold back. Maybe your editor comes up to you and says, maybe we don't want to cover that right now because we kind of got this big ad on the front. Now, someone who's worked at the Washington Post, like someone back there, will say, hey, they never said that to us, which is cool if they didn't. But sometimes they don't even have to say it. It's called self-censorship, and there's a lot of it. Anyway, I bring this as a slight example. Sometimes I flip through it and I find advertisements for the new F-22 fighter. And I think, what the fuck am I doing seeing an advertisement for the F-22 fighter in the Washington Post? But that's in case I want to buy one, apparently. And the other thing, okay, this is all common sense. Top down, in old media, in the media wasteland, I got to get out of this. You had decisions coming from above. All the creativity, all the ideas come from above, tell you, the reporter, what to do, for the most part. Sometimes you get lucky. And that's how decisions are made. Old style. Yeah. Oh, there's Rupert Murdoch with something dumb. For better or worse, our company is a reflection of my thinking, my character, and my values. Good God, No, he's all right, he's all right. The reporter is given assignments. This is the top-down thing. I said that, good. So here comes the question. Soon we'll get to pot journalism, I swear. Filling the void, right? We have this void. People were turning off the television. They weren't watching news. If you ask people still today, I do, they'll go, I don't watch the fucking news. It's all bullshit. I don't read the newspapers either. It's all Tomcat. So we had all these people dejected from everything. And then, what? I call that a void, all right? Let's call it a void. I said that. Oh, that was the other thing, disconnection. I mean, you had meetings, and I've attended some of these. You had meetings at newspapers where people said, how do we connect with the community? What do we have to do? You know, it was like a marketing ploy. How do we have to act so that people feel like we care? Anybody see a problem there? You have to feel like we care, because that's all they wanted. And they couldn't figure it out. And the good news is we, the media, we knew. It was just being human, among other things. People also, like I said, felt like things were being kept from them. I know you had that feeling when you watched in the, what do we call this? The Iraq War? It's amazing, a war without an enemy. Anyway, the Iraq War, you have embedded journalists in bed with the military. And we all tuned in to watch them fuck. It was like, he's on a tank, go! But a lot of people also said, wait a minute, if they're embedded, then how will he be critical of them? Or how will he... You can't. So I think at that point as well, I think we really realized news is being kept from us, and that was already in 2003. So what? What would replace the connection of old? My opinion. Ha! Not 6 apart, necessarily. I just put that there because I'm lazy. Enter blogs, 98, whatever, 96, depending on who you talk to and who you read, and if anybody remembers. We were all teenagers then, remember? Right. So enter blogs, and you have individuals, yeah, of course, not all doing news, but you have a lot of people reporting information. I remember 2000, around there, I found the blog of an Iranian parliament member, and I was like, cool. And he wrote in English. And I was like, cool, an Iranian parliament member. What do you have to say? Because I get tired of the media telling me how Iran is insane and the whole country wants to kill me. Somehow I didn't believe it. And I go on and I start reading the blog, and of course there we're getting another point of view. Not necessarily the point of view, we all know this, but another point of view. So you have blogs coming in, they're easy to use, we know this. Accessible platforms, easy to type blogger and put a picture, we do that. In terms of popularity, it becomes what, a word in the dictionary in like 2002? That's exciting, because I can't get pod journalism into shit. I gotta stop harping on that, yeah. You have the personal connection. People talk a lot about that now. All newspapers want a blog on their site because they want to seem human. And they heard that blogs were very human. So they want to use blogs, we're being used, to look human. But they're right about one thing. There is a real connection between the comments, people going back and forth. There's something more going on there. There's a human connection, I'm going to call it, a personal connection, a candidness, you know, that's important. When you can actually say how you did research and what you really think as a journalist, instead of, and I know there's this tradition, instead of keeping it to yourself and trying not to have an opinion. And I don't know about you, but anytime you try not to have an opinion, you still have an opinion. And of course, conversation style, comments, forums, some people don't like that shit, but it is a two-way road of sorts. So I want to go to podcasting, because that's why you're sitting here. I know that's why you're sitting here. MP3 market. I'm not a marketing person, so I should be careful here. 2004, podcasting really comes, the script is made available, and you have people using MP3s. I mean, I noticed it because I'm riding my bike around, and suddenly I see people riding their bikes wearing this thing around their neck, and it's not a Discman, because that would be big, and you know that, because you had a Discman. And suddenly MP3s are everywhere. People are using them, even idiots, which is cool. Like me. That's good. Call myself an idiot, then I don't seem so mean. It's good. So you had MP3s. Thankfully, more and more people using MP3s and then getting text cut off from their slide. You have programs like iTunes, which is fucking annoying, we know, but useful. And if you like Media Player, you're very special. Tech joke, tech joke, tech joke. That's all I can do with tech jokes. No, I can do more. You have all these players coming up that make it easier for people to use MP3s, and we know that they are. Okay? Reasonable size, that's useful for people who have really slow connections. If you, like me, and you spend a lot of time in Portugal, it's good that MP3s are small, because bandwidth is shit. Clear my throat. Can I have water? Okay, and you also had the rise of media on demand. It sounds like a market term, but all I mean by this, obviously, everyone's like, I know this, is that you consume